Interior Minister Eli Yishai in 2012. Why don't the bleeding hearts criticizing me take dozens of infiltrators and settle them in their neighborhoods? Whoever comes to the immigration offices will receive a plane ticket and a stipend of 1,000 euros, with which they can live in their country for a long time. Whoever doesn't come will be caught, jailed, and deported with no stipend. So, saying that this group of people, they're of a different ethnicity, that we hate them and we want them gone, and we are willing to buy them a ticket to get out the country, and even down to the same number, the same financial figure of what he's willing to bribe them to leave the country. Now, the difference is that these things actually came true. Eli Yishai didn't just say these words, he actually put them into practice. They tried to smear me saying, oh, David Sheen, how could you make this comparison? How could you be so critical? It wasn't just words. He then put it into practice. He proposed this policy. The government accepted it. They implemented it. In the policy, he writes, Rikuz kol hamistanenim. They're not even embarrassed anymore to use the same language. Concentration of all the infiltrators. And sure enough, in the last 5 years since this report was established, they carried out the policy, which was to round African refugees, that's the group he was talking about, to round thousands of African refugees into these detention centers, the largest detention center of its kind in the world, I should add, and with the objective of making their lives miserable. Making their lives so miserable that realizing, well, I guess I'd rather die on my feet than live on my knees. And with no other option, many thousands, tens of thousands of African refugees since had felt that they had no choice and accepted this bursary and left the country, went back to Africa, and then became refugees once again and had to flee for their lives all over again. And in this way, Netanyahu has ethnically cleansed between a third and almost a half of the African refugee population of the country. And these groups that persecute Africans in the street to make their lives so miserable that they eventually feel there's no choice but to leave, again, in the new normal, right, when the mask falls, Netanyahu now meets with them openly, publicly, even invites them into his government meetings, these ultra-racists. And so now, if you can imagine this, Netanyahu said, okay, well, 5 years, we've managed to ethnically cleanse these 25,000 African refugees. Now, from now on, we're not even going to bribe them. We're not even going to offer them money to go. We're not even going to immiserate them so that they give up and go. From now on, we're just going to kick them out. This is the new normal.